1, 2, test. Is the sound okay? Hello, Khamsa. My name is Abdulla Al Kaabi. I'm a filmmaker from the UAE, and I'm also the founder of Al Films. 1, 2, 3, 4, Khamsa. You know what really attracted me is the background colors that you usually guys have in your interviews. I think it's very Almodovar-esque in a sense. Yeah, I'm glad to be here and to chit-chat on this beautiful morning. I grew up in Fujairah, which is one of the 7 Emirates in the UAE. It's on the east coast. I was very fortunate to grow up in Fujairah, and Fujairah is a beautiful town that is on the ocean. I lived a very quiet childhood, a big family, and we spent most of our times playing in the outdoors, in the big gardens, and the big outdoors, big nature, the sea. We were very much connected to the seasons of the fruits. It was a happy life. Happy village life. One of the reasons I'm so attracted to cinema and one of the aspects of it is photography, obviously. And photography is all about the aesthetic of colors and how you can use colors to tell stories. So I think I must have picked up that from my childhood because it was a colorful life that I lived. We lived in a house that had a lot of color. Even growing up watching cartoons, I remember I would grab the remote control and put up the saturation because I loved how that would give the effect to the screen. I love colorful movies. I never got black and white films. Just to me, I think you're just robbing yourself of an aesthetic beauty that is nice. But I still feel like I have to give you one color. And I think that would be definitely blue and brown. You know, I'm a Libra, so it's hard for us to make a choice. Blue, obviously, for the ocean and the sky, and the brown, which is this color of the rocks and the mountains of Fujairah. You know, growing up in Fujairah, we had a VHS rental store and I had a membership. So my parents got me this membership, so I would go every weekend and get, let's say, like 7 VHS cassettes. And that would be like my intake for the whole week to watch movies. So when I was a kid, I knew that these cassettes, these VHS, there was magic behind them. Because when I would watch a movie and end of it, I would get like, become in a dreamlike state, and I knew I wanted to be part of this. So actually my dream job was to create these VHS rentals. I thought that was how you make a movie. You just have to create that. So that was very young at age, but then along I wanted to become an actor. That didn't happen, and just I don't know, life had other plans for me, I guess, and ended up becoming a film director. The beauty of this job is that every project is so unique, and it always feels like you've never worked on such a project like this before. And it's been almost 17 years in the craft of filmmaking, and each project talks to me and tells me what I need to go and seek. It's kind of like playing treasure hunt, and you just unravel what the project tells you. So maybe let me tell you what I'm working on right now. I am trying to get a documentary on its feet, and it's a documentary about an artist, a rebel artist, rock and roll style. So where am I driving most of my inspiration? I just got back from the Venice Biennale just last week, and I was just for 4 or 5 days just with my notebook, going from one pavilion to another, just taking notes, seeing what I can grab. And you know, art is also, you know, there are dying trends and then there are new trends, and you always have to be up ahead of these trends. So that's part of my creative process. And I come back with a notebook full of notes, obviously, and start to translate that into technical document, which is usually a script. My ultimate passion in life is film, cinema, but then I have also another passion, which is the art world. And I love art in all its senses. I always, whenever I'm working on a script or working on a film project, I would just dive into any art exhibition that I can find. I would immerse myself in the art world. I'm very much inspired by that. So I really draw most of my inspiration from the art world, as in painters, sculptors, video artists, performance, installations, and all of that. That to me is like food for the brain. To become a filmmaker, it's all about the tools that you've got. Obviously, the most important one is, do you have a good story to tell? You know, we are all storytellers in the end. If you just strip all of these tools that we have. Once that is in point and you have a great story to tell, or a story that would inspire another person, then you're on the right track. Then use the tools around you. One of the most obvious ones is our mobile phones, you know. I would really definitely encourage them to use their phones, make films. It's a craft in the end. It's like learning how to cook or learning how to paint. Cinema is the same. The more you practice, the better you get at this craft. Back then when I was growing up, we didn't have mobile phones with cameras, but I had video cams, you know, the home, what do you call them, the VCR video cams. And I used to buy like a pack of 24 tiny tapes and I would just finish those in the shortest periods of time. And I think reflecting back on that period, I think that gave me a sense of this craft and the power and magic of creating a visual poetic experience through film. I love cameras, whether behind or in front, or I just like to be around them. I think there's a magic to the lens, but I do prefer to be behind the camera more, because that means I'm probably directing, and when you're directing, you're creating magic, and that is the most beautiful thing that my profession offers. I'm very fortunate to have that. Number one, I would say, you know, our leader, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. Our country has become so big in such a short time, bringing in all these different nationalities together, living in peace, coexisting in love and harmony. Just, I would be honored to meet him, to be honest with you. And then I would love to meet Hitchcock. I would love to have dinner with Hitchcock. He is one of the greatest filmmakers. To me, every good movie has to have a sense of horror or a sense of a thriller vibe to it. And he's the master of that. And I'd love to pick his brain on that. Third person, Nelson Mandela, I would love to have met him, and would have been honored to sit with him, and especially during today's tough times that we're living, it would be great to highlight such personalities who are all about bringing people together. My hometown, Fujairah, being with my family, being in the garden. We have a mango farm and I like to be in the mango farm. We have a house on the coast also. We had beautiful childhood memories, and whenever we get to meet as a whole family, we are a very big family. One of the happiest places I have in my life right now. We're living in a planet in outer space. Because if you think about it, we are all living in a planet in outer space, and we're all together in it, and we're all one. No matter where we come from, you know, we're all humans in the end, and we are species on this planet called Earth in outer space. And it's a realization that we should all act as a family. This whole big blue planet is our home. Madagascar. It was really interesting to see this country outside the, most of us know it from the movie, but it's nothing to do with the movie. It's you honestly get transported. Like, I've been to places where you're transported 100 years ago, but over there you're transported more than 1,000 years ago. It's so nature driven, and even in Tananarivo, which is the capital, you go to some restaurants and they're candle lit. There's no even electricity in the restaurants. And I've seen nature over there that I didn't know existed actually in planet Earth, Red desert, like blood red desert. We went to the Singis, which was these mountain formations, and they're so like sharp. They're like knives. You're walking through knives. And then we saw the lemurs, which were these animals this tiny, and they only appear in the middle of the night, and you have to hike and all of it. Amazing. And that was the first time I've been to Madagascar. So I try to always go to new countries and discover new cultures. To me, cinema bridges people, bridges cultures. And that is the beauty of films. It's a form of communication. And recently I saw a film that is Sudanese, which was a beautiful film. My memory fails me for the name of the film, but it was by a film director called Amjad Abul Ala. And I love films from around the world. To me, it's like traveling at the same time. If you cannot physically be somewhere, you can actually mentally be there if you watch a film from that country. Growing up, it used to be horror. I would only watch horror. I loved horror because they gave me such an emotional sensation, and you're just sitting in your seat watching visuals, and today I hate horror films. It doesn't scare me anymore, so I cannot find that emotion anymore. But I love thrillers. When I'm like just wanting to watch a movie and get inspired, I love thrillers. Yeah, I love romance. I love drama. So what's next for me? I'm working on 3 different projects. So usually I have a basket of projects, and you never know which one is gonna get launched. But one of the dearest to me is a film I've been working on called Camel Tears. I wrote it. It's a love story between a Bedouin and his camel, but in a poetic sense. And so hopefully that I'm gonna start shooting soon. And then I've got also an idea of it's going to be a European movie, international film about pearl divers buying pearls in this part of the world in the beginning of the century. Actually, Jacques Cartier was coming here in early 1900s to buy pearls from this part of the world because it used to be the best pearls in the world. And I think that's beautiful to highlight that, because people used to meet from different cultures to exchange something that is given only aesthetic value because of our culture. It's these pearls that you cannot eat them, they do not feed you, but in the end you appreciate the value of this beauty. And I think we need more projects like that to see that beauty and art and things that have beautiful aesthetics can bring us together. And then the third project I'm working on is a short documentary which highlights the life of a very famous artist. And maybe I can reveal, it's the first time I say this, but it's Mohammed Ahmed Ibrahim, which is an artist from the UAE. He's one of our greatest artists, and we should archive his life because he is a larger than life character. Yeah, so these are in my baskets of projects I'm working on right now. Thank you, Khamsa, for this beautiful interview. Thank you for the color that you've immersed me into today, being the start of my day. And I hope everyone enjoys this interview, and I wish you all the best. They say in Egyptian, خمسة وخميسة بعين الحسود. It means may the world protect you from the evil eye, and inshallah, world peace and happiness for everyone.